Oh my goodness, everyone. Look at all these storms we're having, and we're all the way to the end of June, and we're just being drenched by torrential rains. So it's getting to the point, oh my God, how much rain did we get? We have a river going down to the barn. I'm going to have to go out, see if I have to dig a trench. So I'm going to do a rain reading. What that means is I'm going to ask, is the rainy season going to end? Is the rainy season going to end here this summer of 2019? So this is the happy card, and this is a 9 card about endings. And remember, cups are the water sign, so it's ironic that I'm doing a rain reading. Hi, Kelly King. I'm doing this rain reading. So this is actually a weather reading. I'm actually asking the cards about the weather. And, you know, the funny thing is a lot of the early tarot cards, they didn't address weather, which I thought was interesting because weather impacted their lives so much. You know, you would have thought, hi, Nina, you would have thought that because weather was their lifeline, you know, that they would have maybe had weather built into their cards. But instead, in the Suit of Swords, the swords are about troubles and problems. Well, ironically, all the swords cards have bad weather in them. Isn't that interesting, you guys? So the bad weather cards are in with the troubles of the tarot deck, which I find fascinating. So it looks here like our rainy season is going to come to an end, and there's yellow on the card. And so what do we have to know? Like, what is causing this excessive rain? I guess what I'm looking for is conspiracy theories. If this is just the natural planet, or if this is Mother Earth, and this is the Earth, and it's just balancing nature out, because this is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the, oh, wait a minute, but that's the human card. Okay, so are human beings contributing to this rain in any way? Because that just made me think about that. That's really that's a court card. Shit, the bed. Oh my God, what you don't learn here. All right, well, let's take a look at this. I'm doing a reading with thunder and lightning. All right, thunder and lightning. And the only card of the 78 tarots that has thunder and lightning in it is the Tower card. Something big is going on here with these storms. And then I got the Knight of Pentacles looking at the storm. So I have to really look at this a second time, because I honed in on the nature there and not the fact that it was a knight possibly contributing to the increase of these mega storms. These look like super storms. So when I get to this point where I'm looking at this reading, it is going to end. This stormy, rainy season is going to come to an end. So then I just ask, what do I have to know about all this rain that we are having in these mega storms? We had a wind shear. That took out quite a few of our trees. And one of our neighbors, they're devastated. They think they lost every tree on their property. And of course, my 2 horses stayed out during the whole thing, you know, whatever. They stayed in the pasture. This is Mother Nature. Look at the rain. Look at the stream overflowing or flowing down in the back. So this is the Mother Nature card. All right. She is the Mother Nature card. So I think that humans play a role, but Mother Nature plays a larger role, because that is the Mother Nature card. And Mother Nature is throwing super storms at us, literally. I mean, this is literally what's happening. So what do we human beings need to know about surviving these superstorms that come? What do we have to know living on the planet? And we get another knight. Isn't this interesting? This is so interesting. Hi, Carrie. Good morning, Diana. So good to see you guys yesterday. And Maggie. Belinda. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Shana. Hi, Jay. Hi, Angela. So I'm doing this we're having a thunderstorm here. And I'm just kind of like burned out from thunderstorms and megastorms and rain. I'm kind of burned out. I was lucky to get one load of hay in, but I don't think he's been able to bale hay since. I mean, this has to stop, but you can't control it, or can you? So I'm pulling some cards on this. And what I'm getting is the storm card and the Mother Nature card. And what can humans do? Look at this. They're getting fired up about it. People are finally getting fired up about maybe taking care of the planet. This is people who are fired up. So is there anything that the spiritual people can do, like the light workers or spiritual people? Is there any change? Can the spiritual people do anything to help? And this is how I pull the cards. I just run my hands over all the cards and then grab one. That's how I pull my cards out. Oh, shit, man. The light workers, they've got a battle in front of them because, see, this is the Kabbalistic. That's the tree of life, the Kabbalah, and these people are feeling abandoned. There's like an abandonment and a lot of suffering. I wonder if this is just out of our control and that this is just a period of consciousness of where our consciousness is in a period of maybe suffering for some of us anyway. I don't know that all of us will have to do that. So, all right, so we know that this is going to cause a lot of suffering. This also tells me that we're going to have a hell of a winter because look at the snow. And look at the snow. I'm just like, Jesus, man. We're going to have one heck of a winter also. That's going to make us look forward to that, isn't it? So what do we have to know about, I like to just keep asking questions. Hi, Melissa. We're doing storm readings in the middle of a storm. We have a storm going on here right now. And I pulled the only storm card in the card. And we're kind of putting together what's going on with these storms. I mean, this is getting to the point where it's ridiculous. We had so many of our neighbors lose a good chunk of their trees, and we lost a good chunk of our trees. So I tried to ask if the light workers could do anything, and I pulled the pentacles. This is down to the physical. This is sometimes what I tell people, like they'll come to me and they'll say, I have this physical issue. Is there something spiritual that can be done? And there's times that I'll have to tell them, no, you'll have to handle this on the physical. This has now come down to the physical realm. Wow, I hear you. This has been thundering like this since about an hour ago. It's crazy. Doing a storm reading in a storm. So I think that this is like that, where this has come down to the physical. This is the earth. This is what we have. Hi, Nancy Lee. And this is the lightning, I think, reflected on my card. It's really lightning here a lot. And I have the door open. All right. So then I just ask, okay, so now it's down to the physical. So what do we have to do? What do we have to know? What do we have to do? Is there anything to do at this point? Oh, now we get the Queen of Wands. This is ritual. She's about rituals. Well, that's interesting. And this card wanted to come with her, which is, people feeling unbalanced. And look at all the water there. Look at all the water in the back. It's unbalancing people. She's about ritual. You know what? I feel like during these storms, follow your intuition. Hi, LaDonna. It's super dark here. Yeah, it's coming your way. And let me tell you, it's not high winds. It's not high winds. It's, if you want to call a storm gentle, I don't know that it's gentle because I see a river headed toward the barn, so I'm going to have to get down there. I'm going to call this like torrential rain stuff. Because yeah, you got torrential rain headed toward you. So this is bizarre. This is bizarre. I don't know. my plants got catapulted into the yard in the wind shear, and this tomato plant is my favorite. I even gave it a name. Its name is Lucille. And it doesn't look very good. I don't know if it's going to survive. But anyway, so all of this water is creating an imbalance, all right? But she's a ritual. I got to focus on her. I got to pay attention on her, because she, when we're talking about light workers and the Queen of Wands comes up, she's about doing rituals. Hi, Patty. So, I love to just look at the story of my cards, all right? So this is the good news. The good news is this rainy season that we've had so far is coming to an end. But look at, could be humans are contributing in some way to all these megastorms. Mother Nature is just doing her thing, and it feels like Mother Nature's cleansing the earth. Like it's a cleansing energy for the earth. And this is the Knight of Wands, which people are getting fired up about. Oh, can you hear all that? I just thought of another question. This just means you got to have faith. You got to hang in there. We got to hang in there, all right? Because I don't think that these megastorms are going to be done. And I also feel like we have a very interesting winter come. I don't know how else to say it. I'm going to say interesting. All right, now I'm going to do something really weird. Actually, I'm going to get a different deck. I'm going to push that deck aside. Sometimes when I change things, oh, it's dark in the house. Shayna, this is how dark it is. Like pitch black. Okay, I'm going to get a different deck, and I'm going to ask if thunderstorms have a consciousness, and if we can communicate with thunderstorms. Isn't this fun? Like, you guys, when you learn tarot, you can never be bored. I mean, really, I could probably talk to the deck out there, but I'm going to ask if thunderstorms have a consciousness, because we've got a thunderstorm going on right now. It's been going on for quite a while. All right. Do thunderstorms have some kind of consciousness? That's my question. As stupid as you might think it is, it's a question. Look at this. Queen of Wands. That would be me asking all these freaking questions that the tarot cards have to go like, really, dude? We have to answer this one? Oh, do they have a consciousness? All right. So that's me. That's the queen asking all these questions. And that sometimes the cards, are indicating that. Does the thunderstorms have a consciousness? All right. So this is the spiritual 10 of Wands. And they cause a lot of burdens. And Mother Nature, this is Mother Nature. This is interesting. Even when the sticks are cut off the trees, there's life in them. That's interesting. Because he's definitely got cut marks on the wands, and yet there's new leaves growing. So I believe that it's a life form. Is there a way to communicate with a thunderstorm? Not really. Like, if I did, it wouldn't be pretty, right? This means it doesn't speak the language. It doesn't speak the language. And the reason I say that is because there's a pentacle, and there's pentacles in the background, and there's a different big kind of pentacle and a different kind of pentacle. Hi, Tammy. So I'm thinking that it speaks a different language than we speak, which, is interesting. And there's I am. Screw that. I'm going to communicate with the flowers then. Oh, man. This is so interesting. So if you don't talk to thunderstorms, I guess I'm just going to say to the cards, what do I have to know about thunderstorms then? What do I have to know about storms themselves? Now this is interesting, because here I am, and then here's this cloud with a hand coming out, making an offer, which is very interesting because, there's pleasant things going on, and yet there's a hand coming out of a cloud. I find it so interesting too in the God belief that a lot of the art presents God coming out of a cloud. I think that's so interesting. If we send love to the thunderstorms, would it help weaken them? Oh, what a great question. Shayna thinks like I do. She's got like one of these minds that inquires just like I do. All right, thunderstorm. We're talking to you out there. See if it answers you, Shayna. Hey, thunderstorm. It's really rumbling. Hi, Mandy. Shayna wants to know if we send love to you, will it weaken you? Wow, that's a good question. Let's ask. If we send love to the thunderstorm, will it weaken it? Oh, these are so interesting. Interesting cards. This is a good idea. We're supposed to drink when it's thunderstorming. Oh, like drink booze? Should I get my wine out? Because this is getting to be miserable. This is interesting, Shayna, because the Three of Wands, and notice that we got two wand cards here where our tree branches are cut off, and yet there's growth on them, all right, which is very interesting to me. And believe it or not, Shayna, the number 3 is the communication card in numerology. And yes, it has no water. So I was getting to that. You're so ahead of me. Shayna. So Shayna is very psychic for any of you that are wondering about Shayna. She's super intuitive. So Shayna, this card is dry. You are correct. And so I do believe that what you said is correct, that you can talk to the thunderstorm or send it love and it'll weaken it. I'm going to ask another question about on that line. What about if Shayna, is it Orgonite that breaks up chemtrails, which actually has an influence on clouds? Hi, Sue Wagner. Hi, Doug. We're talking to thunderstorms this morning. Do they feed off our emotions? Oh my God, that's a great question. Oh my gosh, that is, you guys are getting these great questions. All right, Kelly King, let's ask that one. So we're talking to the thunderstorm this morning, you guys. And if you send it love, it can weaken it. Now remember, we have to have rain on the planet. We're not trying to control Mother Nature, but okay. So Kelly King, her question was, do thunderstorms feed off our emotions? In other words, are they like a reflection of where we are emotionally? Isn't that a good theory? Let's ask that. That's a really good question. I can't wait to pull this card. Now, this is a card that comes up and says, we are getting ready to reveal a secret information to you. In other words, unrevealed information. The Hierophant card is the teacher card. And so let us see so it means pay close attention to what follows. So, and now it's like torrentially raining again. Man. Look at all the shingles off our hay barn. We have to put a new roof on it. Oh, it's actually starting to come in the house. I've invited it into the house. Look at this. This is the card. This is a major arcana, the Chariot, which talks about willpower, the will and the duality of black and white, of night, of light and dark. And notice the moon on and then look at the two moons. You have to pay attention to those moons. Why? Because that might be a necklace, but it's shaped in a crescent moon. And so is that, shaped in crescent moon. Because why do you pay attention to that? Because the question she asked was, do thunderstorms feed off of our emotions? And that's the moon card. What is the moon card? It's our emotions. Why do people go wacko on full moons? Because the moons is our emotions. So that was a great question. And the answer to that is yes. And yes, the moon affects the tides on our planet. So that's a big fucking hell yes. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. kind of ties in with watching the sky you did the other day. Yes, the sky was sending messages. And sometimes I can't figure them out, but I still pay attention. So this is really interesting, of the duality of this. Like, you have two horses going in seemingly opposite directions, and this dude is controlling them with, oh, there's a third moon here. 1, 2, 3 moons. Yeah, overwhelmingly yes. The moons and that was a great question. I believe they feed off our emotions. Yesterday I helped with Rafiki journeying over the Rainbow Bridge. That's so sad, Gail. I'm sorry to hear that. That was such a loyal pet for you. Wow, this is very interesting. So I want to go back to the question about Orgonite. Will Orgonite have any kind of influence on thunderstorms? And Orgonite is a man-made. It's a man-made process with fiberglass and crystals, and it's kind of a theory. Wow, look at the water pouring. And this is the Queen of Swords, which could be man-made. Orgonite is man-made. And then she's pouring the water, having an influence. And now we have stars instead of the moon, which is stars about hopes. And this is so interesting. I just keep focusing on that pouring water. So I think that Orgonite is something to pay attention to. I think it's something to pay attention to. But I'm not convinced that it will end a thunderstorm. I'm not convinced of that. But this is what's happening right now, is the water is just the water is pouring out of everywhere, out of the sky right now. The Ten of Pentacles. So something is blocking humans. See the blocks? Blocking the humans. Blocking. What would be blocking the humans? It could help balance. You're right, because she's attempting to balance, what's on the land and what's in the water. But this is blocking humans. Something's blocking the humans, which I find fascinating also. Oh man, it just also made, okay, I got another question that's really conspiracy based. I want to know if it's possible that, now this is, okay, you guys, so I just found out, and I don't know if this is true, but I found out that they can influence what you think. And I already know that they have medications that can make people suicidal. Well, what makes people suicidal is their thoughts. So if you can take a pill that makes you think about suicide, then how else can they grab onto our brain waves? So I recently read a study where they actually can influence what you think. They have a way of influencing what you think and interfering with your thinking process. Right, Shane, I agree. Maybe another planet, it could be, yeah. Yeah, it's okay about the trees, yeah, because we're tree-loving people. So it's always devastating when we lose trees. It always hits us a little harder, but you saw an ex-chemtrail, yeah. So we're being blocked, and that's the physical earth card. So then this other question I want to ask, and I'll ask my Sirius deck back here, is do we have the technology? Does anyone on this planet have the technology to influence our thinking minds? I don't know. This reading this morning is going all over the place. The world, this is fate and destiny. This is the divine and the human. So this is very interesting. The world card. And usually that can never be read in a bad way. And this is the thinking mind sword causing death. So that was just what I was talking about. I was just fucking talking about medications that control your thinking to cause you for suicide. And I get the guy stabbed on the ground, which is the swords, which is the thinking card. This is so fascinating to me. And the human in the cloud. The human in the cloud. Oh my gosh. You just never know where some of these things go. What is today? Friday? Is it Friday? I'm doing all this heavy thinking on a Friday. So absolutely they can cause the end of someone with the thinking mind. But we can also counter that. Look at something in the drinking water. We have water, and he's got a cup with drinking. They want us to pay attention to the drinking water. They're going to be putting something in the drinking water. How do we counter that? Because that really fucking pisses me off. What can we do to do that? I mean, we can't just come down here with all these gifts of prophecy and not do anything. Look at, we're working on it. We are working on it one step at a time. So are we going to succeed in overcoming all the corruption that is in the world? You guys, I think the storm is ending. This is weird. Look at that. A lot of people are going to pass away. Water. This is very interesting. Do you think that let's change our thinking. Do you think all this rain is countering what they're trying to do to our water? That Mother Nature's sending us all this rain to dilute what they're doing to our water? Is that possible? Should we ask that question? You know what? The skies are getting lighter. The rain is getting lighter. Very interesting. Hi, Kate. Marquardt. We're just going all over the place with Friday morning reading here. Because I don't know, this storm engaged my mind. So now I have to ask, is Mother Nature actually creating all these storms to benefit with these torrential rains? To benefit the human race? Is this to benefit the human race? I'm just going all over the place with this. Because you know what? If you don't ask the questions, then how are you going to know? Here's the king. Here's the King of Wands. Remember, he's the master, spiritual master, right? He's the spiritual master. Oh, look at this. Not looking at, and then all that water in the background, and we have another crescent moon. I think the crescent moon is going to be a symbol in this whole entire process. So because I pulled a human card, this is the Knights Templar, and the Knights Templar, oh, the thunder, it's arrived in Madison. Oh dear. So is it to benefit humans? Yes, because I pulled the human being card. But the human beings, there's human beings trying to stop or block what's going on, right? They're trying to stop or block what's going on. So anyway, this is fascinating. We have more water in this card, and this is exactly what's happening in our yard right now. We have like a river running down toward the barn. Good morning, Kate. So this, and you guys, you can't ignore the crescent moons. Somebody get out there and research crescent moons. And moons control the water. I think we're onto something. I think I'm onto something here. And it's hidden. There's a cloak. It's hidden. Something going on with our water. Oh, God. This is going to take me down. I could literally, you guys, because water does have a consciousness. Remember Emoto's work where he sent love to it and the water was loving, and he sent hate and the water was hated? And we're 90% water in our bodies. Is that moon, am I seeing all these crescent moons? Is that because water is our bodies water? Our bodies are made of water, and that is, I'm trying to form a question here. Oh, look at those rolls. I haven't had breakfast yet. Can you tell? The moon. We're talking about the water and superstorms. We're talking about, who's behind this, or is anybody behind it? We're just going all over the place with this water thing. We're getting so many crescent moons that we have to pay attention to the crescent moons. And our bodies are 90% water. Is the moon influencing our physical body? Does the moon influence our physical body? I know it does, but we're on the wisdom trail. The hermit so we're being guided. This is the teacher card for me. We're being guided. It's like you're the good student. This is what that's what the cards are saying. So I'm getting close to something. I'm getting close to being on the right trail. So Is our moon real on Earth, or was it put there to control the water systems, which is the water of our body? What is the purpose of our moon? You guys can help me think of questions. Hi, Rowena. What is the purpose? You were looking at those rolls? Oh, we're all going to look at the rolls now because I got to have breakfast. Oh, look at the dog. She wants to go out and pee, but she's deathly afraid of storms, so she's waiting for it. You can go out now. Hey, you can go out, go potty. You can go potty now. It quit. No, I guess not. Okay, all right, so we're trying to put together this theory, right? And we've gone all over the place with this, but we're on the right track with the Hermit card. So is the moon, now I want to ask questions about the moon, because we keep getting the crescent moon. And sometimes I have to think in my mind how I want to form the question. Is the moon natural? Is our moon natural? Was it when the universe was formed? Did the moon that's by the earth, did that just naturally come here? Wow. There's some hidden stuff that we're uncovering here that could be disturbing. The waxing crescent moon is decision making, celebration, relaxation. The waning moon is release and detachment. Okay. So is our moon natural? I get a sad card. So is the moon man-made or alien-made? I don't care how it was made. Is the moon, how am I going to call that? Is the moon an artificial structure? Let's ask that. Fucking A. So these storms, that's the devil card, you guys. So is the moon, do you think that they're controlling everything on the planet by the moon? Is this planet being controlled by the moon? I'm all over the place today. I've gone to talking to thunderstorms onto the fucking bed, blocking the human. So they don't want me to know this information. They don't want me to know. I'm being blocked. I am being blocked. That's fascinating. Wow. I don't want to be blocked. I don't want to be blocked. So what do I do to learn about the moon since I'm being blocked? This is like I'm being blocked from this information. So is there a way that I can get around the block? Because I'm a rebel and I don't like fucking rules. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a big pain in the ass. Are you guys up for it? Doug Diedrich, does the moon send thoughts out? Are bad thoughts to our minds or bad thoughts to our mind? Oh, that's a great question. Let's put all these cards back, and then I like to shuffle them when we're starting with a brand new question here, because otherwise those cards don't have an opportunity to come out anymore. Holy shit, Doug. Cards are flying out, and this one just flipped over. And this is that we're trapped by our thoughts. Trapped by our thoughts. That's weird. We're in bondage. Whoa. And then look at this. Doug, these two cards just flopped out when I was shuffling, when I was remixing up. And this is the battle. They're having a battle. There's a battle going on. Wow. So I'm going to put those cards back in, Doug, and ask formally, does the moon have any influence over our thoughts? That's a great question. Yeah. And it's bad ones. Bad thoughts. Doug, you were fucking spot on. The moon sends out bad thoughts to our mind. This is the thinking card, the swords, pain, bad, negative. Yes. I would have never thought about that. I would have never thought that up in a million years. Doug, that was a brilliant question. I love that question. So the answer is yes. Yeah, you're right. There's some things we're not ready to know, but fuck that. I want to know it anyway. If another planet is controlling our moon. Oh, is another planet controlling the moon? Is there another planet behind the moon controlling the moon? I love that you guys jump on board with this. Yes. Oh my fucking God. You guys are onto something. I love this. Kelly King and Doug. The moon controls our thoughts, which, yes, our thoughts control our emotions. Shayna, what are you saying? Human bodies are made mostly of water, and so is the earth. Water and emotions are influenced by the moon. Yeah, we're onto something. And Kelly King asked Kelly King asked a great question. If another planet is controlling the moon, and for me, the agreement with the cards, if any question can be answered with a yes, then I answer it. I don't pull any more cards. So this is yes, there's another planet controlling the moon. Jesus. Wow. Huh. That, and Shayna's point. Human bodies are mostly water. So is the earth. Water and emotions are influenced by the moon. Yes. I agree with Shayna too. That's brilliant. And Doug, because of the devil card. Yes. Isn't this cool? So, you guys, I get on these kicks where I go down these rabbit holes with my cards. And sometimes, like, I had to go in the living room and grab a different deck. I don't know why I have to do that. Spirit just tells me, because I have to read some of what I do is reading the art of what's on the card. And if this deck doesn't have the art, that's going to give me answers, and I have to go to another deck. So I got 2 decks out here, Universal Weight and Morgan Greer, that I currently, and I have 15 more downstairs if I would need them. Hi, Nina Heck. Is it Mars? Man, how am I gonna know that? How am I gonna know if it's Mars? You guys might have to Google something for me. Is the planet Mars controlling the moon? Mars. Is it Mars? Mars. Can somebody Google what planet is assigned to the 9 of Pentacles card? Can somebody Google that? Literally type in Google, what planet is assigned to 9 of Pentacles? Because I've got it, but it's in a chart. I don't have that memorized. But there is a planet assigned to the 9 of Pentacles. If you guys could let me know which one. At any rate, Doug, these are powerful beings, because the 9 of Pentacles is literally one of the most powerful women in the tarot deck. She is powerful. So, we're talking about very powerful beings controlled by a different planet to tune in, to try and control us. Yeah. Yeah, Carrie, that's right. So the earth and our bodies and minds are controlled by whoever controls the moon. Yeah. Saturn and all of its, did somebody Google that? Saturn and all its moons we've seen lately. Oh yeah, some of these planets have a lot of moons. Is it Jupiter? Ask if the planet is from another solar system. My intuition tells me Mars is a help, not a hinder. Okay. If you guys can Google what planet is assigned to the 9 of Pentacles, otherwise I'll look it up later and I'll redo it. Why am I going into the ring? What's in her ring? What's in her ring? Huh. Something is in her ring. I'll have to look at that later. Jupiter or Saturn seem to be the hinders. Well, we can ask. Hi, Luann, Kinchi. We're having an intense discussion here. I don't know how you'll jump in the middle of this one, because how do you explain this? So someone said Jupiter or Saturn. Okay. Is Jupiter having an influence over the moon? Is Jupiter part of the control system of the moon? Lovers. That's, what, oh God, I almost know what, Lovers is Gemini. What planet governs Lovers? Pentacles. It's Venus. Oh, Venus is the 9 of Pentacles. That's the planet of love. That's interesting. So is another planet. So it could be more than one because the Lovers is 2. Looks like Mars Horizon. Yeah. You could be right. Sometimes I take a picture with my phone and then blow it up. It is very strange. Oh, the planet with the ring. And there's a ring. Which planet has the ring? You guys, which planet has the ring? It's not what's in the ring. It's the ring. It's the planet with the rings. What planet has the rings around it? That's why I kept talking about the ring. I honed in on the ring. I'm like, what's with the ring? Duh, the planet with the rings. Sometimes, you guys, it takes me a while. Does Saturn have the rings? Then it's Saturn. And isn't Saturn the planet of destiny or fate or what is, I'm not an astrologer, but now I wish I was. Can somebody look up the metaphysical meaning of Saturn? So we can, because Mars is definitely influencing it. Now this Lover's card there could be more than one, but this is also the card of duality. Duality. Oh my God, doesn't this remind you of Adam and Eve in the garden? Fucking A. Is there some other big message here that you're trying to tell us? This looks like Adam and Eve in the garden. They're naked. There's a garden. What are they trying to tell us? Anyway, they're telling us that the planet with the rings is the controller of the moon, and that's controlling us. We just got to talk this out. Yeah. Is somebody Googling Saturn? What does Saturn mean? I should have my computer booted up. I don't have it booted up yet. Saturn. I just don't even know what that planet means, but I feel like it's key to this whole thing. And this reminds me of Adam and Eve. So, since I believe that we know that Saturn is in this, what do we have to know about Saturn? I'm asking the cards. Jesus Christ, you guys, I got the 5 of Cups again. This is so weird. You're on it. Okay, Shayna. This is not good for humans. This is not good for human beings. And the turbulent skies, going back to the thunderstorm, going back to the moon that controls, I think the moon controls the water, and the water controls our weather, because I know if the ocean's temperatures change by even 2 degrees, it influences our weather. It sends like super mega storms our way. So if the ocean changes, that's why it's such a big deal. Oh, you guys that are just joining, man, you're freaking missed out on a big discussion that started with a thunderstorm. And it's going down a really interesting path. So for you guys just joining, when this live is over, go back and re-watch this, because you won't regret it. You'll be like, damn. So Shayna is researching what Saturn means, because the cards have indicated that the planet with the planet with the rings is controlling the moon, which is controlling the earth, as far as emotions, controls the water. The moon controls the water. Saturn is the god of agriculture, the founder of civilizations and social order and conformity. Oh my God. Okay. This is all about control and order. Well, that would make sense. If you put a moon on a planet and you have beings that are made mostly of water, then what better way to control them is with something that influences the water. All right. Now, I can put these cards back. And I'll go to my Sirius deck. This is my Sirius deck. Is there something that human beings can do to counter the rings? The rings of the planet Saturn that enclose and surround it reflect the idea of human limitation. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding, Shayna? It reflects the ideas of human limitations? Yeah, why is Saturn trying to control us? It's not the planet, I don't think. I think, well, maybe it's the planet. Why is Saturn trying to control us? Guess what? Is the devil card assigned to Saturn? You guys remember the devil came up? Is the devil card assigned to Saturn? Shayna, can you look that up? If the devil card is assigned to Saturn, remember when the devil card presented itself? And Carrie Powell, why is Saturn trying to control us? All right, why? Why is Saturn trying to control us? Shit. That's not a good card. Saturn's role is to bring meaning and structure to our lives. Well, okay. Why is Saturn trying to do it? It's a dark agenda. It's a dark agenda. Look at the shadow people in the back. This is not a good card. The Seven of Swords, not a good card. So that's interesting. That was a great question. Why? But I was going to ask if there's anything we can do to stop it. Can we program the water in ourselves? Because if the moon can influence our emotions, why can't we through our thinking mind? So I think the rain is a good thing. I wonder if we should program the rain. Can we program the rain? Because Emoto wrote love and it changed everything. Can we program the rain? Can we program the rain and will that have an influence? There's the moon again. Stealing something for us. Or the rings of Saturn are controls and Saturn itself is not the negative. Yeah, that could be very true, Kate. Very true. The person on the Seven of Swords is taking the swords away to stop a battle. That could be. Yes, the devil card is associated with Saturn. Oh, shit the bed. Can we program the rain? And here we go. It's the moon. It's not rain. It's not the rain. But this is the cup card. Oh, you know what the meaning of this card is? Emotional detachment. Emotional detachment, which is walking away from the emotional system that they built up. Oh, I think I'm getting it. They have created an emotional system here. It's a system that's very logical, and we're saying fuck you, and we're walking away from it. Oh man, my brain hurts. It's too early. I haven't even had my tea yet. I haven't had my tea. I like Carrie's idea. I like Carrie's idea from that also. I think that's a good idea. The rings enclose Saturn like a prisoner. I think I have to agree with that. Both Saturn and the Devil card are Capricorn. Okay, that's interesting. That card almost had two moons. Yes, the crescent moon. I think we have to pay attention to that crescent moon. It's really coming up here. So maybe instead of programming the rain, maybe we can program the moon somehow. What? You turned on the TV and Netflix, the rain appeared? That's just weird. You know what, Susan McMurray, you know what that means is that when you get signs like that, like the TV, she turns it on and Netflix, the rain appears, that means that this is really important, that you need to pay attention to this entire video. There's a crescent moon inside the full moon. Yeah. So rather than programming the water, which he doesn't seem interested in, he's heading higher up. And we are being given the crescent moon as a sign, you guys. We have got to pay attention to this moon. All right? The moon, not the water, the moon. Can we try to figure out how the moon is being controlled by Saturn? Telepathy. Oh, Kelly King, you should just come and be my neighbor. we would go, and Shayna, you can be my neighbor. Can you imagine the deep discussions? We would never sleep. Is the moon So let's see. Can we try to figure out how the moon's being controlled by Saturn? How is the moon being controlled by Saturn? How is that happening? How is that happening? Well, the Rainbow Bridge. So it's another dimension. Over the Rainbow Bridge. And the cups are leading out of a dimension. It's in another dimension. That's fascinating. It's in another dimension. That never occurred to me. Because this is over the Rainbow Bridge. And the Rainbow Bridge, we can't see the people, but they're there. We know when people die, they're still there, but we can't see them. They're in another dimension. So it's being controlled through another dimension. That's interesting. The crescent moon is the only part of the moon we can see, which is happening in the shadows. The crescent moon with the full moon represents the drone. Does it really? It represents the drone? I didn't know that, Gail. I didn't know that. The drone. That's interesting. Wow. Over the Rainbow Bridge. So it's it's possibly on another dimension. So is there, so do we need to, I'm going to ask the Sirius deck, do we need to refocus if we want to get out of this control situation, do we refocus the energy on the moon? Do we have to, is that what you're trying to say here? Yes. The world. That's our world. That's our planet, our world. Okay. And all of life upon it. The eagles, the humans, the bears, the bulls. It's the world. It's the world. Wow. And I got to pay attention to this card a little bit more in detail. So we got to focus on our world against being enslaved by telepathy through the water. Oh, do you think they programmed the water? Hey, Shayna, what planet is the world? What planet is assigned to the Tarot World card, Shayna? Can you look that up for me? What planet, Shayna? If you're still on, Shayna, can you look up what planet is assigned to the World card? This is going to be very interesting. So this is telepathy. So who said telepathy back here? Because you were right on. Kelly King. This would be telepathy. This is the sword card. The swords are the thinking mind, and this is disturbing. This is disturbing. And it's also based something to do with water. And the humans are throwing the swords down and walking away. So detaching from the telepathy. Detaching from the telepathy. Shayna, I know there's a lag in here, so if you can look up the planet, or anybody, just say what planet is assigned to the World card, because I feel like that's going to give us another hint. And then, you guys, I've been talking about this a long time. We have to continue this another time, because this is a work day for me. I think we are being protected. Oh. Could be, but if we're being protected, it's an interesting way. I can ask that, but we've got a disturbing card here. Let's go ahead and go with that. Are we being protected from these attacks? Or are we being protected, or someone's trying to protect us? That's a good question. That doesn't look, that's a good thought, but that doesn't look like it's working. Just based on that card. But that was a good thought, but this looks like pain and suffering. And it's another sword card, which means that's the emotional card. It's your thinking mind. Oh, I got to go feed my horses. They're just whinnying. It's the thinking mind influencing the emotions. The thinking mind influencing the emotions. Okay, so I'm going to wait for Shayna to get the planet on this World card, and we're going to have part 2 of this, because it's so early in the morning. A lot of people are going to be like, what the hell? Shayna, the moon. Complete your goal. Okay. Get the fuck out of here. Go the fuck away. The world is Saturn? And the devil is Saturn? I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. The world is Saturn and the devil is Saturn. Wow. Wow. All right. Well, I know that you guys hate it when we end things on cliffhangers, but I think this is gonna take us down. This is gonna take us down a trip. So, okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. We're gonna continue this. We're not gonna leave you hanging. But what your homework is you guys, I'm giving you homework. You are gonna thoroughly research the crescent moon and Saturn. We're on it. Okay, you guys? What is Saturn about? We need to find out what Saturn is about. And then we're going to come back, and all of you from all your research, we're going to come back and have another discussion on this because Saturn is the key. Saturn is the key. Could be protected by the rain. Is the rain that comes down protecting human beings? Is the rain that falls from the sky some kind of protection in some way to humans? Well, we got the Queen of Swords. She's coming that we're using our thinking mind a lot. And he's the gardener. And he's kind of observing. I don't know the answer to that yet, but that's a great question. That's another question that we can research. So stay tuned. When I come back at a later date, we are going to continue the discussion of what this is. So in the meantime, please look up Saturn and crescent moons. Those were the two things that the cards kept saying. This is the path you need to go on. So thank you, Shayna, and everyone else who did the research on this. Thank you for this intense discussion on a Friday morning during a thunderstorm, which was radical. Gave me a lot of insights, and I love stuff like this. I love chasing mysteries with the cards. I absolutely love it, and I love all of you. So happy Friday. Research Saturn, and we'll reconvene this. Bye.